now.
Okay, good morning. This recording is not the property of the county, and the county makes no representation about the accuracy of the recording and is not responsible for the content. The recording is the exclusive property of the union or the recorder, and copies of the recording must be directly requested from the recorder. The county has no obligations under Florida Statute 119, as it is not the county's recording, nor does the county maintain a copy. Okay, Scott, you were saying.
Yes. So we're working on Article 20, trying to combine both our proposals together, the parts that we can live with. One of the hurdles that we're running up against is you have reference to wanting to move the uniform items just into the general orders. Obviously, we're opposed to that, but we're not opposed to defining a lesser initial complement issue to probationary members. And if we have part-timers, if we want to decrease their uniforms, but there's nothing currently in the existing uniform GO that would specify that. So before I just take a shot in the dark, I don't know if the chief or somebody wants to enlighten us as to what their thoughts would be for an initial complement issue for a probationary member or a part-timer.
Well, I think that you have what you give them initially, right? You give them an initial allotment. And it is our intent, if you're asking us what it is that's in the initial allotment, the chief's happy to share that with you. But I don't want to represent that we're inclined to put that in the collective bargaining agreement. We would have that laid out in a general order. And obviously, I don't think it's there now, but that's something that we would, when we make the change to the general order, that's what it would include.
Right. Well, right? And that's my concern, Karen, is we're going to alter the contract by changing general orders. And, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of good faith bargaining about what we're going to wear. So basically. No,
because actually there's only one other place where I have uniform items in the collective bargaining agreement. We have successfully worked with our other unions in other places to actually put them in a general order, especially in a situation like this where the chief meets with the union regularly and goes over any changes that he makes. We don't fundamentally believe that that is a mandatory subject of bargaining as far as enumerating each item and the color, et cetera, in the CBA. We're happy to put them in the general orders and work with you to show you that general order and work on an ongoing basis to make sure as and when that changes that you're properly noticed for any kind of impact bargaining, but we do it regularly anyway. So we disagree with you fundamentally, but if you want to know what we give them, we're happy to tell you.
Well, and again, I'm just being transparent. We can go back and forth all day with it. My intention,
as are we.
My intention is not, and unless we are going to see what the GO is, mark down the revision date, and that's going to remain in place through the life of the contract until the next bargaining session. That's something that we could have a conversation about, but it's going to be.
If that's your proposal, then propose that. I mean, that's fine. If that's your proposal, then we'll take that into consideration. That wasn't necessarily our proposal. Our proposal was to put the items in the GO, but it wasn't down to lock it to any time frame. But if that's your proposal and you want to explain that, then that's fine. But that wasn't our proposal.
No, I understand it's not your proposal. So, and I haven't talked to the team about what their desire is. So I'd need to speak with them about it. But sure. In the meantime, just so that we can have something to give back to you, is anybody willing to share what their envision of because it doesn't exist now, so you're going to write it.
We have a GO now, right? We have a GO which we're happy to share with you. Have you already shared it with them?
Do you mind?
Yeah.
Hey, Clint.
He has a copy of our current GO. I provided it to him yesterday. We reviewed it this morning. None of the information that you're striking from the current CBA language is in that GO currently.
That is correct.
That's right. Sure, good. We just need 1 second. Hold on for a second.
Okay.
Too many people have their fingers on the button here. We're back. Okay.
Yeah. So, as Clint had mentioned, those particular items are not currently in the GO. So I'm assuming that the intent would be to create a GO after the fact, and that's what would be living with. So what I'm trying to find out is if the chief or somebody has in their mind and care to share what their envision of an initial complement is to a probationary member.
Is that enumerated anywhere? Just tell me what's in there.
So, I mean, Scott, this is Jimmy. You know, I would say that the initial complement would be similar to what's already in the collective bargaining agreement. That general order has not been updated because we do that in unison with the leadership now. So, I mean, I wouldn't be able to augment that general order and it be visible to everyone when we're working together to make this contract a little bit more streamlined.
Okay.
Do you want me to list out per item? Is that what you're looking for?
I mean, typically, you know, if there's a lesser initial issue to a probationary person, you know, a lot of times there's 7 shirts and 7 pants. There's, you know, 4 shirts and 4 pants issued to a probation. And when they complete the probation, they're given the additional 3 and 3. So, you know, that's typically what I see if a place, you know, has a probationary allotment. And I didn't know if that's kind of where you were going with this or not.
No, I think that's a good idea. You bring some good ideas to the table. I think that decreasing the amount for probation and then once you clear the probationary status to give the rest of the allotment is a good idea. I like where you're coming from.
Okay. And I'm sorry, we have part-timers, correct? People that are
we currently have one part-timer that's probably going to be separated due to inactivity.
okay.
So we don't really have a part-time established program here.
Okay. Well, that keeps it simple. All right. Also, there's reference to shoes and boots meeting the standard of the general order again. And I don't believe there's any reference to boots in the GO or shoes. And I know that when we had this discussion, either the last set of negotiations or the set before, there was some question on that as to how specific. I mean, typically, if there's a reference to the boot and the employee is buying the boot, you know, it's black, either a boot or a black style shoe. I don't know if your intent is to try to say we need steel toes or this or that. So again, I defer to you. What's your thought process on the shoes and boots and what would typically you want to see as a standard?
Sure, I think that we need to have a standard. We have been round and round with the boot issue, and you are correct. During the last negotiation, that was a hot topic. I know that I've spoken with Clint a couple of times about shoes and the appearance, and you know, I think that together collectively we could get a list of shoes that are uniform. Right now, everyone has different shoes, and the employees are not buying it. So I want to make sure that that is clear. We're providing an allowance for them to buy shoes. So we are giving them money to purchase shoes, and they're not in uniform. So we have some people that are wearing tennis shoes, some people are wearing canvas shoes, some people are having white sneaker style shoes, and what I am looking for here is to have a set shoe approval list, I guess would be the easiest way to describe it.
Sure.
Like the post office. You know, the post office has set numbers of shoes that have been approved that meet the standard of their uniform.
Correct. I don't think we have any particular issue with that. Obviously, you need a little bit of flexibility because there's so many different people and whatnot. But when you say that they provide money, is that the, are you referencing the 1638 or whatever per pay period that's given? Or is there?
1673 is what's given to them now, and we provided you an article that was $18.
Correct, but that is, the intent of that is that's boot money?
Yeah, it's uniform maintenance and shoe allowances combination. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Understood. I think I have enough now on the uniform. We can finish that up. And then I wanted to make a reference or just a clarification on Article 11, which was the bereavement leave. I got a little better clarification of where the problem lies. So a full-time person taking bereavement leave, they're able to be coded bereavement leave for payroll purposes. So that's not an issue. The issue comes when someone's taking a bereavement leave that doesn't meet the immediate family definition. So those people can take bereavement leave, but in the coding of it, it has to be vacation, comp, or sick. The issue is when somebody goes to say, hey, there's an opening and I want to take the day off, according to current procedures, if that person is out on bereavement and because he is not meeting the definition of immediate family, he now takes up a vacation day slot or whatever he's chosen to use. And that's where the issue came in was all the 3 and 3 were full with people on vacation time. And this person was initially denied his bereavement days because there were no spots, because he couldn't be classified as bereavement because it didn't meet the immediate family. So he had to use vacation time and all the vacation spots were full. Therefore, he was initially denied his bereavement time. So what I was trying to achieve with that was that if it's used for bereavement, regardless of how it's coded, if it's used for bereavement, that wouldn't count towards the allotted slots for vacation time. Does that make sense, Chief?
Yeah, it's not counted now. And I think I recall the individual that you were speaking about, and that was an oversight on the leadership part, and I owned it, and I talked to Clint and apologized, and we allowed that individual to get off. So that was just one incident, right? Were there more than one?
And I'm not sure. I mean, Clint brought that one to my attention and explained it. And again, and this is no offense to anyone in the room, but obviously it's, I'm staring at, well, I can see 4 of you on the camera that weren't here last time, and I can't guarantee that you'll be here next time. So
There are people who were here last time.
You were in negotiations last time?
There were people here that were here last time, I said.
Oh, okay. No, I don't recognize anybody.
Not
So
that it matters for these negotiations, but that's fine.
yeah. Well, no, point being is that the chief says he recognized the problem, took care of it, but I think that there should be something that's noted in the contract so that, if the chief hits lotto and moves down to the Keys and a new chief comes in, that it's not just, well, that's the deal we had worked out with the old chief. I think just needs some clarification. That's what I was looking for with that language. So I might clean that up a little bit to reflect more of the point I'm trying to make, and I'll give that back to you too. So if you will indulge us another caucus, I will try to get both of those finished up and back over to you to start looking at.
Okay, and then we have some things for you, so when you come back, we'll give you some of the ones from yesterday that we said we would, that we had no changes in.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back. I'll have somebody
Well,
let you know.
Okay.
Thank you.